Move the screen a little bit. Okay, perfect.
You good?
Yeah, that good?
Chaim Davids is not here. They didn't leave it over here. Okay.
But it is. It's here.
So wait a second. Okay, so we're on the Flamid Dalam base. Just to recap from yesterday, and I was a little confused yesterday. I have a chart today, but I wasn't able to get it on the screen, so I'll try to do it outside. Nothing. The Gemara is talking about the drushes over here, and the halachas are going to stay the same. The drush is going to be maybe intricate or involved, but the halachas still stay the same. The klal is like Mishnah said: mitzvah say shasman groma, women are pater. Mitzvah lo say shalos man groma, women are chayiv. And the losas say they're chayiv in any event. That doesn't. But and we have some exceptions for each one. And by mitzvah say shasman groma, that is related, time related. In general, they're pater. And the exceptions are going to be simcha, matzah, and hakel. That shalmi simcha they're supposed to eat, even though it's time related, and matzah they have to eat, even though it's time related. Hakel they have to come, and those are exceptions. And the other way, mitzvah sasei shasman groma, in general the chayiv, and there are three exceptions over there also. Talmud Torah, Piruvu, Pidyon Aben, that even though it's not time related, they're pater. Okay, and the Gemara learns out each one how you know these exceptions, but. Now the Gemara wants to know, how do you know the whole klal? Who tells us this klal? That mitzvah says shasman groma the pater, mitzvah says shalos man groma the chayiv. So yesterday we did the source of mitzvah says shasman groma. We want to put this because of tefillin. Tefillin is a mitzvah says shasman groma, and women are pater. How do you know women are pater? Because it's just to Talmud Torah. Talmud Torah is not man groma, as Avrohom pointed out yesterday, but you learn out, since it says next to each other two times in both parshas, the first parsha, the second parsha, both of them it says tefillin next to Talmud Torah. One time it says Talmud Torah first, then tefillin, then Talmud Torah, both of them are next to each other. So you learn out that women are pater from tefillin. That has nothing to do with being a mitzvah to say shasman groma, but that's the source. Everybody's going to hold that. I made a mistake yesterday at the end when I asked that some hold the mitzvah to say shasman groma. It doesn't change the fact that they're pater. Everyone knows that they're pater. I have to look in other places where I thought it says not like that, but that's what our Gemara is going to say. Everyone knows that women are pater from tefillin, regardless if it's a mitzvah to say shasman groma or not. And you learn out to all the other mitzvahs. The more I had some kashas yesterday that mezuzah, that's a side point. Mezuzah happens to be also lo zman groma and happens to be that the chayiv. Why the chayiv? Why don't you learn out from Talmud Torah also to say that the Gemara says because for sure they were chayiv in mezuzah because they have to live. It says l'man yibu yemechem, so they have to live also. So it's impossible. The screen sharing is paused. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm sorry. How do I stop? How do I stop the pause? So start again for a second. Nobody's on anyway yet, so didn't make a difference. Okay. So what?
Underneath the screen.
Ruby's not going to be on either, huh?
I think he is on, but he doesn't look at the screen. Except for the recording, maybe he needs it. We need it for the recording.
Okay, so for the recording. Okay. So good. So again, so what do we have? That how do you know the mezuzah? Because they have to live. So that's a given. Mezuzah the chayiv, Talmud Torah the pater. Tefillin is learned out from Talmud Torah because it says next to each other both times. So that's a given that they're pater from Talmud Torah, and therefore you learn out to all other mitzvahs that are in the same category as man groma. That's how the Gemara says, mitzvahs to say shasman groma is pater. Happens to be also the Gemara talked about sukkah and riyah, that they're also mitzvahs to say shasman groma and they're pater. But there has to be a special rush of each one of them. By sukkah it says ha'ezroch, by riyah it says zechorcha. Why don't you learn it after the second regular drasha? So that the Gemara says you might have reasons to think differently. By sukkah you might have thought either because it's today's shvur to do, or you might think that tesvav you learn from Chag HaMatzos, and by riyah you might think that it's ishkesh lahakel. So therefore the pasuk had to speak out specifically by sukkah and riyah that pater also, but it goes back to the old klal that everything learned that from tefillin. That's how you know that mitzvah such as one grama is pater. After that, the Gemara asked, just to get on the screen over here. Turning on, this is Lamed Daled Lamed Beis. And the next sugi was learn out from Simcha. We have Simcha, Matzah, and Hakel. So who tells you to learn out all the mitzvahs from tefillin, learn it out from Simcha, Matzah, and Hakel? First one says Simcha. Simcha, Abai says, no, women are not chayiv. The husband's chayiv. This is Mamash negated to the lach of this the yantif. The Shalmi Simcha women are supposed to eat, but Abai says it's not a din on the woman; it's a din on the husband. So it doesn't go. It's not an exception to the category of women are part of a mitzvah to say Shazram. They're really part of it. It's the husband's chayiv that he should make his wife happy. Then the Gemara answers about matzah and hakel. That's going to be the Bikasha. Matzah and hakel learn out from there, and that the Gemara answers that matzah and hakel is snake soup and bom kachet. On the contrary, the fact that it has two psukim and not only one pasuk, from there you learn out. You can't learn it out. You can't apply it to other things. But the fact the pasuk said it 2 times, it shows that only these two. If it would have been to learn out from here to every place else, it would have said one, either one of them, matzah or hakel, and it would have learned out to the other one. The fact that it says it 2 times, you can't learn it to any place else. And tefillin is the one you can learn out from because that's the only place that it says it. Of course, it says sukkah and riyah, but those are necessary, as we just said. Sukkah and riyah are necessary. So tefillin is the only place, and you learn out the other places that are kind of similar. And matzah and hakel, the Gemara says why matzah and hakel are shnik supa or bom kechad, because it's not necessary to have both of them. The Gemara does say that if it would have said hakel and it wouldn't have said matzah, you would have not be able to learn out. You would have said maybe matzah is going to be potter like Chag HaSukkos. That's both learn from Sukkos at the potter. But if it would have said matzah, you would have been able to learn out hakel. So matzah and hakel is shnik supa or bom kechad, and therefore you can't learn from it. But tefillin and what did the Gemara say before? But tefillin and where's the Gemara here? Yeah, that's all the Gemara said. Okay, the Gemara no problem, no other problems. So up to the bottom over here, Hanicha. So this is about how many lines? About 10 lines from the bottom. Hanicha. There's a famous machlok as always. Some say that if it says 2 times, it's not enough. You cannot learn it any place else. But some say you still could. Only but if it's only 2, you could learn out other places also. I'm not sure what the machlok is. Why should it be the spar? How come Shnei Ksuba? Why did the Torah write it twice if it could have said it once and learn out everything? I'm not sure. But there's such a machlok of Shnei Ksuba. And that's the Morris Kasha. Maybe to highlight this Kasha. Laman Damar is a Kasha. Michael Amemar. If you hold that Shnei Ksuba, so how come you can't learn out from matzah and hakel? Just to focus on the subject. How do you know all mitzvahs says women are potter? The answer is learning out from tefillin, and the kasha is learning out from matzah and hakel that they should be chayiv. If you hold that Shnei Ksuba of bom kechad melamdim, so you should be able to learn out from matzah and hakel that they're chayiv. That's the Morris Kasha. That's kasha number 1. Vesu, another kasha. Mitzvah says laws mangrama. Nashim chayavos. That's the Mishnah says, and everybody knows that if it's not a time-related mitzvah, even though it's a mitzvah say women are chayiv. And the Gemara is going to say menolan, and we're going to say the whole drasha, and the end of the kasha is going to come out just to point out that this is a long introduction to come to a kasha, the same kasha over again. If you hold Shnei Ksuba, the Gemara is going to come out again. Also, Shnei Ksuba bom kechad melamdim, and the Gemara is going to come out again to ask. If you hold Shnei Ksuba bom kechad melamdim, so there's going to be a problem on the other side of the coin also. We're starting a new sugya now. How do you know mitzvah says laws man grama women are chayiv? How do you know mitzvah says laws man grama lashmachavos menolan? How do you know that? The answer is the Yalef Mimora. We learn it out from Mora Avrohom. Ish Imo Vav Tiro, even though it says Ish, but the one said before that it says Tira'u, it says Lashon Rabim, so it means a man and a woman. And that was the Mishnah, that there's no difference between a man and a woman, the son and the daughter, as far as Mora Kibbut Avrohom, Mora Avrohom. And now we learn out all other mitzvahs. Ma Mora Nashim Chayavos, I've called mitzvahs to say Shlo Zman Groma Nashim Chayavos. It's not Zman Groma. Ish Imo Vav Tiro has nothing to do with the time. So just like Mora Avrohom, women are chayiv, even because it's Shlo Zman Groma, so to any mitzvah to say Shlo Zman Groma, women are chayiv. Now the Gemara is asking kashas in the Talmud Torah. Talmud Torah, we have 3 exceptions to this rule. Talmud Torah, Puruvu, Pidyon Ben. They're all mitzvahs to say Shlo Zman Groma, and women are potter. By Talmud Torah says Shnatim Levanecha, Yimas Benechem. By Puruvu, again that's machlokes, but the Gemara is going now that the potter, because it says v'chivshua mandak l'chbosh. So woman is potter from Puruvu.
Who's l'chbosh?
The man is that v'chivshua. There's a Russian that doesn't say it over here so much. We'll bring it down later. So man is mechuyev in Puruvu, and women are not. And Pidyon Ben, it says over there that Yepoda, the one that had a Russian before, Tifta Tipa, the woman is not chayiv to be nifta. It says so the one is asking, It's very nice that you have a drasha tluna from Mora over aim that mitzvah sasei shlos magrom is high because you have Mora. That maybe to highlight that the drasha is going to be from Mora. Mora. That's what you learn out. That's how you learn out the mitzvah sasei shlos magrom l'shma chayavos. But the more is asking, how about Talmud Torah? Learn out from Talmud Torah that they should be pater. The answer is Mishum Devalei Talmud Torah Previa Shnei Ksuva Abam Kechad, because the fact that there are two, the fact that there are more, the more that there is, it makes it a problem. It makes it reason you can't learn from there. More is only one place where it says that the Chayiv. It's a drasha to say that the Chayiv. So you learn not near to all of the mitzvahs. But Talmud Torah Pruvu, the fact that it says two times, why wasn't enough to say one? If the klal would be that from here learn out to other places also, that Talmud Torah they're pater. So all mitzvahs say Shalosh my grandmother pater. So it should have said it only once. It shouldn't have said twice. So the fact, and it says only Pruvu. Why does it have to have a special drasha for each one? Since it has two psukim, Shnei Ksuva Bam Kechad, V'chol Shnei Ksuva Bam Kechad Ein Melamdim. The Gemara then is going to ask, that's if you hold Shnei Ksuva Bam Kechad Ein Melamdim. If you hold Melamdim, then it's not an answer. Who tells you to learn it from Mora? Maybe learn out from Talmud Torah Rivia. So we'll get back to that soon. But the Gemara interjects that Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka happens to hold that women are also mechuyev in Pruvu. Yankees, he also women are chai, and that's more kasha. According to him, you only have one. You only have Talmud Torah. But Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, Damal Shnei Me'omer, Vayivrocha Sambol Akim, Pruvu. He holds that Hashem told to both of them. Both of them, also Chava. Hashem told them Pruvu. So according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, women also have Pruvu. Michael Amema. So only have Talmud Torah. So learn out from Talmud Torah to all mitzvahs that women are pater, even though those are magrama. The answer is going to be Talmud Torah Pidyon Aben. Here's another one. Pidyon Aben is the third one. So he doesn't have three; he only has two. But you have Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben that are. Says that at the pater, only women, only men are chayv, women are pater. So we're happy. So far, we're happy. How do you know mitzvah to say shlos my grandma women are chayv? You learn out from Mora, and you can't learn out from these exceptions because it's shnei ksuva b'am kechad. Talmud Torah, Pruvu, Pidyon Aben. Even if you don't have Pruvu, you have at least two. You have Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben. Shnei ksuva b'am kechad ein melamdim.
Why shtei ketuvim?
You have Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben.
So we took out the other one.
According to us, we have three. We have even Pruvu also. We have three. Surely ein melamdim. But even according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, you have at least two. And since it's Shnei Ksuva, ein melamdim, you can't learn from other places to other places from there. The fact that Torah said it two times, Tafkir, not other places. So we learn out from Mora that the Chayiv, and learn out from Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben. The Gemara Zakasha, the other way now. According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, what do you have? Mora. Mora is Chayiv, right? But you also have Pruvu on the other side now. According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, Pruvu moved from the Pater side to the Chayiv side. So you have Shnei Ksuva Bam Kechad and Ein Melamdim on the other side because Mora and Pruvu, both of them are telling you that women are Chayiv, and it's supposed to say Shalok Mangrama, but it's two. If it has two, same Melamdim, you can't allow to anything else. That's more discussion now. Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka Nami, the heavy Pruvu Mora, Shnei Ksuva Bam Kechad Ein Melamdim. You shouldn't be able to learn out other places from Mora because there are two psukim. There's also Pruvu. So that the Gemara says, no, it's Richi. Whenever you have to have the pasuk because you couldn't learn one from the other, then it's not Shnei Ksuvim. So I'm going to tell you it's Richa. I'm going to tell you a reason why it's necessary to have both of them. You wouldn't have been able to learn out one from the other. It's Richa. Dikas Rachmana Mora, Velokas Pir Rivya. And you want to say that Mora Chayiv, a woman Chayiv, and Mora over aim. And I would have learned out the Pir Rivya? No, I would have said Hamamena, Vikivshuam Rachmana, Ish Dakal Chavish, Ein Isha Dakal Chavish, Isha Dain in, Isha Dain Dakal Chavish Lo. That this is really the drasha of those who argue about Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, that since the pasuk says Pruvu Kivshua, I forgot the pasuk exactly. Maybe it says it on the side. That
sure, because
and that means multiply and conquer. But since it's talking Kivshua, so it's talking to a man because a man is the one who conquers the land, not a woman. So the whole pasuk is talking to a man, not to a woman. So that's what the Rabbanan hold. And Rabbi Yochanan says that's a nice havamina. That's drash.
Why isn't it kashat? Because it's you don't see that in the word kavshua is masculine.
Even if it's to say that Pruvu is going to be in to the same address that we're talking about kavshua, that was one address level. It sounds much of will be Hashem told both of them. But you might have thought this Russia to say that women are chayiv and pruvu, even though
Unlike Yochanan.
Apoter, I'm sorry. You would have thought that the Potter pruvu. You would have thought that the Potter, because the Rechem Baruch is saying you would have thought not like you would have thought like the Rabbanan, because it says sure you would have had the Russia to say that they should be Potter and pruvu. Therefore, the pastor got to speak it out inside. Tzrichi dikas v'achmana mora v'lokas the preview. It would have said the women are chayiv in mora obeyim. They wouldn't have said that the chayiv in pruvu. I would have thought that the Potter from pruvu have a man of v'chipshuam rachmana ish dako lechavish in ish den dako lechavish lo, and therefore not to say pruvu. Does say pruvu also not enough. Because of preview of because of more Havamina, ish the sifik biyod lasos in ish the sifik biyod lasos low. The chayv the sifik biyod lasos low to chayv klal tzricha. Before we had that women only chayv as long as before they're married. Then the chayv and more aim, keep it aim. Once they get married, they don't have the possibility anymore because they are with their husbands. They're obligated to their husbands. They live with their husbands, so they can't be mekayim to keep it aim. And more aim here it says also. So the Gemara says that you might think that's a reason why they shouldn't be chayv at all, since they can be chayv always, so they're not chayv at all, even when they do have the ability. Even before they get married, you might think that they're potter also, because they're not in the parsha. So that's why the pasuk, even though it would have said, pruvu, women are chayiv.
According to Yochanan ben Zakkai.
Right. You wouldn't be able to learn from there that women are chayiv in Morah. You would have learned that to all mitzvahs that are chayiv, but you wouldn't have learned how to to tomorrow obeying. You would have thought that the potter over there. So it's not shnei ksubam b'bam kechad. So it's not shnei ksubam b'bam kechad. That was the Gemara's stance. Again, the kasha was according to Avrohom and Broker. How could you learn out from Morah? You have Morah and Pruvu, that both of them are chayim, so don't learn out to other places. The answer is that it says Srifi, you wouldn't have been able to learn out one from the other. So it's not shnei ksubam b'bam kechad. So you do learn out. You learn out from Morah or from Pruvu. You learn out that. And it's not a chesron here that I say malamdim here you could learn out because it was shriking. So the Gemara figured out just to recap what we just did. How do you know that mitzvah to say shall lo azman grow women are chayiv? Because you learn out from Morah, and you can't learn out from those that are potter, Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben, because it's shnei ksubim b'am ke'echad. But Morah and Pruvu is not Sheikh Sulabam Kechad. Everything's good. The Morah is happy. But the Morah now asks the same kasha as it asked just on the very previous Gemara. And this is going to be the kasha over again. All this is very nice. If you're Sheikh Sulabam Kechad, Aim Lamdin. Hanich Lamandam, Sheikh Sulabam Kechad, Aim Lamdin. Ella Lamandama, Lamdin, Michael Amema. Lamandama, Lamdin, Michael Amema. This is the same kasha as we had on the drasha of, just to scroll back a second, the same thing we had on the drasha. Here, this is we're attacking the same thing. Just to recap again, there's one drasha about mitzvah sasesha as man groma that the pater. There's one drasha about mitzvah sasesha laws man groma that the chayim. Everything's good if you hold shnei ksubam b'amakach everything is good. That mitzvah sasesha as man groma the pater you learn it from Talmud Torah, from tefillin. I'm sorry, and mitzvah sasesha laws man groma you learn that from Morah. From Morah of aim, that's laws man groma the chayim. Everything's nice, but there's always a kasha that there are exceptions, and learn out from the exceptions, learn out from matzah and hakel. So the answer is no. Matzah and hakel is shnei ksubam b'am kechad aim ulamdim, and by mitzvah sasesha laws man groma that the drush over there is from Morah. The exceptions over there also. There's Talmud Torah Pidyon Aben. No, shnei ksubam b'am kechad aim ulamdim. Everything's nice.
Imalamdi means that you can't prove it from.
You can't learn it to other. You can't apply it to other places. It's not applicable. You can't apply it to other places. Only where it says it. It says it. Yeah, well, so the more is saying, if you hold snake suba mam kechad aim ulam, then everything's very nice. We have all the drushes. Mitzvah sasesha mam groma the putter from tefillin, and you can't learn out from matzah hakel because it's snake suba mam kechad. And mitzvah sasesha los mam groma you learn it at the chayiv because more of an aim at the chayiv, and don't ask kasha from Talmud Torah Pidyon Aben because over there it's snake suba mam kechad aim ulam. But the more is asking, if you hold snake suba mam kechad yes ulam, so then we're back on the. We have a problem. That how do you know that mitzvah sasesha the putter mam groma the putter from tefillin, maybe the chayiv because of matzah and hakel. Who tells you mitzvah says shelos man groma the chayiv because of Morah? Maybe the potter like Talmud Torah and Pidyon Aben. That's the most kasha. And both directions we're asking. If you hold snake suba bam kechad malamdim, we don't have enough of a drusha. Nothing's going to change in the facts. It's just the drushes are not working out. And the Gemara answers now Amar Rava. So Rava answers all these kashas. Papunai yadi la time. So Papunai means the person who lives in Papunya. the Papunai person, he knows the answer. Who's that? Amanu Ravacha Bayakov. He's the Ravacha Bayakov was from Papunia. That was where he was from. It comes up in Sukkot also because he was the one who used to take the lulav and say Giro Bene de Sitna. He would say that this should be an arrow in the eyes of the Satan. And the Gemara says that you shouldn't do that because don't start up with the Satan. He doesn't like to be provoked and he might try harder. So don't say that. But Agav, I said a nice word already, that the Gemara says someplace else that the Satan came and kissed the feet of Avrohom Yaakov. Because he said that the Satan, the Panina, the same Shemaim, is governor, that the Satan has a good kavanah. He wants to give people the Nisayon in order they should have schar. So he has a good intention. So the Satan and Avrohom Yaakov, they were on good terms. So maybe he wasn't scared to say Gir Bein the Sitna, but everybody else should be scared. That's just for Sukkot, because that's Papunah. Anyway, Rabbi said that Papunya, he knows the answer. Manu Avrohom Yaakov. What does he say? Amar Kra. A passage that says by tefillin that tefillin should be for a sign on your hand and a remembrance between your eyes, in order that the Torah of Hashem should be in your mouth. So he has a fancy drasha. Not stam. We learn that from tefillin. This pasuk says learn out from tefillin to hold the whole Torah. Look, shekala Torah kula tefillin. This pasuk is more beferish than we said yesterday. Yesterday we just said you learn it from tefillin because tefillin is a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah sasei shazman grama. And so learn out all other mitzvahs, like other places also. They'll apply to other places. But Rav Avrohom says a fancier drasha. He says the pasuk itself to do that. The pasuk says that tefillin is laman tiyeh Torah Hashem. That Torah is compared to tefillin. So the Torah is saying, the Torah itself is saying that learn out from here to Torah Torah kulu the tefillin. Ma tefillin sasei shazman grama l'ros. I've called mitzvah sasei shazman grama l'ros. That's how you learn. Not because of Mamusina, but because of the drasha. The Torah makes a hekish. The Torah all mitzvahs should be like tefillin, and you learn it both ways. The mitzvah says so learn out other places also. But that wouldn't be good enough because the other places learn at that chayiv also. Matzah Hakel say that the chayiv, even though mitzvah says shas mangrama, and also the opposite by mitzvah says shalos mangrama, who says learn out from Torah, learn out from Pidyon Ben and Talmud Torah. The answer is that there's a special pasuk that says learn out mitzvah says shas mangrama from tefillin. The Torah says so. The Torah says to learn out from tefillin. So that's why we know that mitzvah says shas mangrama is butter, and since the Torah says it, not a place. So we learn out another mitzvah. The mitzvah says shalos mangrama, women are chayiv. And you don't have to have all of the drushes now about tomorrow. This is learn out from tefillin alone. Now, to what I mentioned yesterday, that some old mitzvah tefillin is a mitzvah to say shalos mangrama. Why is tefillin ground? Either because some hold Zman tefillin, some hold Shabbos Zman tefillin, and Shabbos tefillin. According to them, they say shalos mangrama. And they also agree that this is my mistake. That they hold that it's not always made at night, not on Shabbos. Means the kasha is that right. How to learn from tefillin means tefillin for sure is pater, but now it goes the wrong direction. Tefillin is going to tell you that a mitzvah to say shalos mangrama women are pater, and a mitzvah to say shas mangrama women are going to be chayiv. It changes. It becomes a opposite now. Whatever tefillin is, that's going to also be part of other mitzvahs that are similar to it. The Torah says, other mitzvahs that are similar to tefillin should also be part of. What's similar to tefillin? Depends what tefillin is. If tefillin is a mitzvah, we went tefillin is a mitzvah to say shazman grama. So we had a very nice that the zman grama ones are pater, and there's no zman grama is chayiv. But according to those who hold that tefillin is a mitzvah to say shalos zman grama, so tefillin is on the other team. Tefillin is a case of lo zman grama. That the Torah says that is pater, and now we'll learn out that only lo zman grama is going to be pater, and zman grama is going to be chayiv. Mamish the opposite. I'm bothered because I always had the impression that according to those who hold mitzvah say shalos mangroma, then the women who wore tefillin. I thought that Rabbi Yehuda Meir's wife, Rebbe, since that they wore tefillin. But this Gemara says perish not. This Gemara says everybody else tefillin is part. That's a given. The question only is it called the mitzvah to say shalos mangroma? Is a mitzvah to say shalos mangroma? So I have to change my notes someplace. I have to fix up what I thought. Here it says everybody holds the women are part because you learn out from Talmud Torah. Now the only question is, what's the Agdar? Which category is it called? Is it called Zman Groma? Is it called Ein Zman Groma? But everybody knows
Shema
that it's
Yisrael, that's why they learn it from Limud Torah.
again
From Shema Yisrael, from
from the pasuk where
the
the first parsha, second parsha, both of them it says Talmud Torah next to Tefillin and Talmud Torah for sure Pater, so Tefillin also Pater. That's a given. Now the question is it called Zman Groma or not? And the Gemara is asking, with Tefillin Master Shlosh Zman Groma, Michael, remember the whole thing turns upside down. Now it's going to come out the mitzvah to say Shalosh Zman Groma, women are Pater like Tefillin, and mitzvah to say Zman Groma, they're going to be chayav. So the Gemara says no problem. Man Shamalei Dama Tefillin mitzvah say Shlosh Zman Groma. Rav Meir is the author. He's the one who holds mitzvah say. He holds that mitzvah say Shlosh Zman Groma. He holds that night is chayav in Tefillin, Shabbos is chayav in Tefillin. Why? Surely not. But even though they hold that it's the Gemara says man, but the Gemara says down the way, according to them also, you might carry by mistake. You might be wearing tefillin in the street, and you have to take it off in order to relieve yourself. And then, but really don't that Shabbos is really man tefillin. So according to him, he doesn't have the problem. He really holds that as Mr. Sashesh Loz Van Groma, but he doesn't need this last answer that we said. Savalosh Neiksuvam Bam Kechad. But Meir is the author of holds Eimelamdim. We only came on to this fancy drasha, we only needed it because he holds Snake Subam Kechad Malamdim. Then we had a problem. We had to answer that you have a fancy drasha that says that everything is like tefillin, but if you hold Snake Subam Bam Kechad Ein Malamdim, so you don't have to say this fancy pshat. You can go back to what we said before. And what do we say? That Matzah and Hakel, the Shnei Ksubim Babam Kechad, and Ein Malamdim, and therefore what? And therefore you can't learn out that it's Chai, that mitzvah Sesha is not going with the Chai like Matzah and Hakel. And what? And what's going to be with Tefillin? They can't learn out from Tefillin to mitzvah Sesha as man groma. Something is missing. A screw is missing now because Tefillin still remains a mitzvah Sesha Loz man groma. So that's not going to be the source to say that all mitzvahs are putter. Matzah is not going to be a kasha because they hold snakes and one kechad eimelamdim. So there's no source to say that the chayiv. But what is the source to say that the potter? This setting there during my preparation, I didn't realize. Rashi says Rav Meir holds in Eruvin that mitzvah seish that's mitzvah seish loz v'agrama. Oldi there litzrach hakesha elakadamina bereisha ibinyan nav. Rashi says v'gomar meriya. Rashi takes care of the problem. There's another mitzvah say she.
Learning from Riyah.
Zman Groma and the Pater. Not Tefillin. Tefillin is low Zman Groma according to Rav Meir, but Riyah is going to be mitzvahs Asay Zman Groma and the Pater.
We can.
Which one?
Woman.
On what?
To the Riyah.
No, it says Yera calls a korcha. It's Perish Pasuk that Yera calls a korcha. Only men are chayiv Riyah. Women are Pater.
I thought they all have to go to the Arbais.
Yera calls a korcha.
Only the men which and their sons.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
That's a Perish Pasuk. That's Mamash Perish Pasuk. So that does change. This point does change. It's still not with Torah. It's Tefillin. It's not going to be Tefillin. It's going to be from Riyah. That mitzvah says as around Gamma Noshim for 2 rows. With the Kashalam, we had a Kashalam, Matzah and Hakel. Rabbi Meir is the one who was Snake Sum, Bam Kechad, Ein Malamdim. Okay, Rashi helped us out now that you have to go on to Riyah now, not from Tefillin. But he has no problem about learning out Matzah and Hakel. He doesn't have to have the fancy drasha to learn it from Tefillin because he holds that Snake Sum, Bam Kechad, Ein Malamdim. So you can learn out from Riyah, and you have a Kasha Matzah and Hakel. That's Ein Malamdim because it's 2 psukim. But now the more is okay, very nice. You got out of Rav Meir, but the Rebbe also happens to hold that Tefillin is a mitzvah to say Shaloh as my grandma, and he also has Shnei Ksubam Kechad is Esmalamdim. Well, that Rebbe done Shnei Ksubam Kechad Malamdim, and Tefillin he also has mitzvah to say Shaloh as my grandma, Michael Amema, because now we got it. How do you call it? The corner. You have Rebbe the corner because he holds Shnei Ksubam Kechad Yes Malamdim. So Masan Hakel you can learn from them also, and he holds that Tefillin is a mitzvah to say Shaloh as my grandma. So learn out. There's no better to learn out from Riyah that the Pater than to learn it from Masan Hakel that the Chayiv. So how do you know that women are Pater mitzvah to say Shazman Grama? The answer is we should have a matzah simcha v'hakel shlosh ksubam bam kechad shlosh ksubam bam kechad ein malamdim. Everybody agrees that 3 psukim, and you have 3 psukim, not only 2. Why? Because you have simcha also. So it's not so simple. The Gemara said yesterday, Abai said that simcha is not called the mitzvah to say Shazman Grama, that women are chayiv, because he holds that it's not a chiyuv on the woman, it's a chiyuv on the husband. It's his halacha. It's not her halacha. So this Gemara, Rashi says, is not going according to Abai. that this, according to Abaye, the Gemara wouldn't have an answer because you still only have Shnei Ksuvim and B'vam Kechad. They don't have 3 psukim. But not according to Abaye, here's the Rashi. According to this, you have to say that he doesn't hold like Abaye who says that Isha Bala Masamcha. He holds that as a chiv on the woman. So it does come out that the machlokas Amarom, if you hold like Abaye or not. Yesterday we spoke about this.
Right.
And I think it's a machlokas Rishonim. If who you pass like, he comes out, our Gemara says Abaye, the Gemara says somebody has to argue on him. I think there's Gemara also in other places also where others argue on Abaye. And it's not simple. The chiv of women in Salmi Simcha, is it the chiv of the husband or is the chiv of the woman? I think, and even in Allah also, I think there's a machlokas Rishonim. Okay, so we finished. So this is the first shlav of the Gemara, and about mitzvah sasei shazman grama and mitzvah sasei shalozman grama, and the source, the Pasha says the source is from Tefillin. That's how you know that we hold the Tefillin is mitzvah sasei shazman grama because we hold that Shabbos lavzman Tefillin. Even though we hold that Laila is man Tefillin, you don't wear it at night because you might fall asleep. But the rice it is a mitzvah tefillin at night also. But we do hold that Shabbos loves man tefillin, so it's a mitzvah to say shazman grama. We're in a potter, and the way you learn out tefillin, all mitzvahs to say shazman grama is from tefillin, because tefillin knows potter from Talmud Torah. And now, once the pasuk says learn out from tefillin, the fancy drasha. If you're saying then we're good with that. We don't have to go further. But if you hold Malam, then you have to have how come out of Yaakov fancy drasha that Hukshakala Torah Kula Tefillin, Mantia Torah Shem B'Fifa, and that's going to tell you all the drashas. So there are 2 ways to learn. If you hold Shnei Ksuvim Malam Kechad, Ein Malam then. So Mitzvah Sasei Shazman Grama, you learn it from Tefillin. Mitzvah Sasei Shalozman Grama, you learn that from Mora of the Ein. And there's no conscience about other exceptions because Shnei Ksuvim Malam Kechad. And if you hold shloshik ksuvim, but you want to get shloshik, you get shloshik ksuvim, then you're going to have to say that simcha is also a chiv on the woman, and it's an exception to the rule. And even though mitzvah sasei shazman grama women are chayiv, and you have simcha, mas and hakel, same malamdin, and on the case of loazman grama, you have Talmud Torah, pruvu, pidin aben, against shloshik ksuvim, bam kechad, ein malamdin. So it states that mitzvah sasei shazman grama you learn from tefillin, mitzvah sasei shalozman grama you learn from Torah, and that's how we know the klal. So nothing came new as far as the halachas, no one's arguing. But as far as the drushes, that's what we did today, as far as the drushes. And now the Gemara continues the next part of the Mishnah. If it's a losa aseh, the chayiv in all cases. How do you know that? How do you know women are chayiv in all mitzvahs losa aseh, regardless if it's man grama or not? Not immediately. So the Gemara brings 3 drushes, and the Gemara is going to say you have to have all 3 of them. One of the 3 drushes. I'm Rav Yudam Rav, B'chein Tanat Rav Yishmael, Amar Kra, Isha or Isha, Ki Yasu Mikol Chatos Ad. Unless a pasuk, a man or woman that do any kind of sins, so the chayiv, the onish, whatever the onish is over there, so it says perish, isha isha, so it says a woman also. Ish vakas of isha ish l'chol onshim shavutor. That's l'chol onshim. That as far as punishments, the pasuk says that women are also in the same parasha. That's one drasha. Tvei abuleza tana, a different drasha. Amar krua asher tosim l'fneihem. The pasuk says Eila mishpatim, the beginning of parashas mishpatim. Eila mishpatim asher tosim l'fneihem. L'fneihem means before them. What does that mean? Men and women. Ish vakas of isha ish l'chol dinim shavutor. That's l'chol dinim for all halachas. So there talks about all the different mazikim, if someone damages. So Parshas Mishpatim, all about damages. So it says men and women are on the same category. And the third Rasha, the Bechizkiya Tana, Amakra, the name says Isha Isha. It's talking about over there for sure. Gores a man or woman and kills them, so it pays kofar. And it says perish again, a man or a woman. Ishvakasav, Ishalish, l'chol misa shevator, for all death penalties. Not that the woman is chayiv death penalty, but the one who kills her. Anybody that, like this says over there, that the shore gore the woman, so he's the chayiv misa kofar. So that's also talking about women also.
Because it's a moed.
Yeah, okay, that's already details about it. It's why we did about a short time, but. The shore surely is high killed even if it's a tam. But you have 3 drushes over here. One was as far as a man or woman sinning, and the halachas that a man or woman have to do as far as the mazikin that the chayiv to pay for damages, both if she's damaged or if she is damaged, and also as far as death penalty that also says hey by a shore over there. And so why have to have 3 drushes for? Well, the famous kash always comes up. With svicha you need all 3 drushes. The ashbin and hachka maisa. The first case that it talks about. The is you might say Mishum Kapara, Hashem wants her to get a kapara. So it says that whatever punishment over there in order that she should get a kapara. But in other cases we will say that after women are included. in the man lachas of a man. Abodinin and by Ishtabar Maso Matan in Ishallah. You might think as far as all kinds of damages, men are more in the outside world. They are the ones who get do business with each other. They get involved with damages. They're the ones who are in the parsha of damages. But women might be potter. That's why the pasuk has said at the chayiv. It's not saying that the truth is a chayiv, but you have to have a pasuk. You won't be able to learn out from the other. Yes, and high, mishum dichayusei. You might think the reason why Hashem said they should be included in the halachas of damages is because of her life. What does life mean? Parnasa, that she should be able to do business. If people would be a potter if they damage a woman, or if she'd be potter if she damages a man. So then
no one do business.
No one do business. Both because she would stay away because she doesn't want to get damaged, and they would stay away because they don't want to get damaged. So that's why the Torah says she's chayiv in all halachas of damages. Al kofer ema. You might think that if the shore damage killed a woman, you might think that come in ish the bar mitzvah in ish lo. That the man is more chayiv in mitzvahs. Of course, a woman also has mitzvahs. That points out, but men have more mitzvahs. So he's called a bar mitzvah. But maybe the chiyuv of somebody who killed a man is different than someone who killed a woman. Maybe he killed a woman. Maybe it wouldn't be chayiv kofer. That's why the pasuk had to say even the case of kofer. Yashmin and high. If we only say the last case, even the shama, the fact that she was killed, that's the most severe thing. That's why the Torah says that there's a punishment for that kofer. That he should be reimbursed.
What pasuk are we talking about?
What?
What pasuk are we talking about?
That's the case of kofer. If he miss ish or isha, if a shore goes a woman, so he's chayiv kofer, chayiv misa, chayiv kofer. So that's only because of the severity of killing. That's why we have to have three psukim to say that men and women are in the same parsha as far as all of these halachas, both as far as punishments and as far as dinim and all kinds of damages, and as far as kofer if the shore wars a woman. And what does it have to do with our subject about being chayiv in mitzvahs? From all these three together, we talk about the chayiv mitzvahs. The chayiv mitzvahs, I guess different kinds of mitzvahs over here, but women are considered all mitzvahs. This is all called laws. The losase. A losase. There's no difference about gram or not. It's a losase. I'm not sure if you need all three for the losase alone. The Gemara brings all three of them to answer the question of how do you know that a losase women are chayiv. That's the end of that Russia.
Only you learn from two. Take it to him.
Are you saying that you wouldn't be able to learn? Once the Gemara says a shrichas, you need all of them. No, but then the Gemara says shrichas, you need all of them. From one, you wouldn't be able to learn the other ones. So then you do learn the other places also. It's only when they're extra. If it's two, they could have learned that from each other. Then it's called shnei ksubim, shlosha ksubim. But once you have to have all of them, so now it's not restricting only to these places. You can learn at every place else also. So that's the halacha that mitzvahs to say mitzvahs losas say women are chayiv in all cases. But there are three exceptions. That's what the Gemara is going to go into the three exceptions. It says the Mishnah already. The three exceptions, even the losas say women are potter. Chos b'baltakif, baltashkes, and baltamal mason. There's no issue on a woman to cut her payas, even though it's a losas say. And there's no issue to cut her beard, even if she has a beard. She's no issue to use a razor, because even though it's a losas say. And also baltamal mason, even a kohen, a woman who's a kohen, bas kohen. There's no halacha on her that she's not allowed to become tamei lames. And even though it's a losas say. So you might think that applies to women also. Bas kohen also will be included. So all three, they're exceptions. There's
but she doesn't even. A woman doesn't inherit the tribal.
She's a kohen. She's not eating truma.
Only and she's in her father's house.
So maybe she's not allowed to become tamei lames as long as she's in her father's house. Whatever you're going to say, whatever she isn't called a bas kohen. So maybe it'll apply to the halach of tum also. So it says no, there's no halach on a bas kohen that she's not allowed to become tamei lames. And the one wants to know, how do you know? What's the source for all these things? How do you know? How do you know these three exceptions? Bishlam about the tamei lamesim. Tichsiv amar lakon b'nei Aaron. It says b'nei Aaron. So that's it. The pasuk about tum is only talking about b'nei Aaron, the kohen. B'nei Av lo b'nos Aaron. So now we know. That's how you know that the halach of tum doesn't apply to women, because it says b'nei Aaron, not b'nos Aaron. And who tells us that the halacha of cutting payas and cutting the beard doesn't apply to women also? Maybe it applies to women also. So lo sase, according to the regular rule, we learn out from Mora of Aim that a lo sase. No, we learn out from those. I made a mistake. We learn out from those three psukim about dinim and onshim and kofer. We learn out that lo sase applies to women also. So how come they're not included in the parsha of not cutting payas, not cutting the beard? So the Gemara says the chsiv lo sakifu pas roshchem v'lo sashes is pas ganecha kol sheyeshno bashchasa yeshno bakafa vaninashi the whole lost isnu bashchasa lesnu bakafa. So the Gemara jumps a step and says, I don't know yet why they're not chayiv to cut their beard. They're not asked to cut their beard, but let's take that as a given. We'll see soon how we know they're not asked to cut their beard. And the pasuk puts payas and beard in the same pasuk to tell you that if they're not including the issue of cutting the beard, they're not including the issue of cutting the payas. So that's how we know payas. But we don't know the beard yet. It's very nice if you know that you're not allowed to cut the
so much beard, it's not such an Indian baby.
but they have sometimes they have, and they want to use a razor. So are they allowed to? So that's the question over here. So that's the one. Not that. So now everything's very nice. We have payas is mutter if beard is mutter. But how you know beard is mutter? When all on who says no isra to destroy their beard? Who says they're not included in that isra? Iboy same as Flora, the whole islu zakan. This is what Chaim David really probably meant. That it's a svara that they usually don't have a beard. So even if they happen to grow here, that's not called a beard. It's not a chash of a beard. So they're not included in that parsha. And there wasn't even a kasha beard that's surely not chayiv in. And therefore, pace is going to be the same because the pasuk puts it in the same pasuk. Iboy same makruah. I can bring a pasuk also to dash that they're not chayiv to cut, not usher to cut their beard. When it talks about the pace, it says roshchem, lashon rabim. When it says beard, it says kanecha, lashon yachid. It says it in the singular. How come it
And
changed?
to the male.
Must be that's telling you the male and not the woman. With the
It
shani
says kenech, it's already male.
yeah, but usually that wouldn't be that wouldn't. How do they write all the contracts? That even though it says it in the male, it also means female. Yeah, so that's not just because it says in the male, that doesn't mean. But here that it changed it. The Shani Krova Dibur says the pasuk changed its term because in the same pasuk first it says plural, then it says singular. The fact that it changed that at the beginning the pasuk spoken plural, then it changed to singular is to tell you dafka to single out to say somebody yes, somebody not, and it's excluding women. So the Gemara is happy that the Gemara knows from these 2 points, either because of svara or because of a pasuk that they're not chayiv for cutting their beard, and therefore pace is in the same pasuk, so they're not us to cut the pace either.
But I have a kasha because it says paid roshchem. It should be also
Right.
it should be paid roshchem in the plural. Please include the woman.
So we said the answer to that is because it says it in the same pasuk, and since you're right, that's a nice point. But since in the end of the pasuk it says that by the beard is not, and the pasuk puts it all together in the same pasuk, they say that they're both the same. Yes, nice kasha. I think that on the contrary, it says here roshchem and here it says kancha. But that the Gemara says it wanted to say it in order to make the difference, in order to make a shani b'dibura. He wanted to show that's not if it says kancha wouldn't have meant anything. The fact that it's changed, that's saying that this is coming to say dafka a man, and the pasuk puts it in the same pasuk as the payas to say that the payas also is the same as the beard. And they're not also to cut their payas either. But the more says it's a Perish Brisa. This is going to be a kasha now. Perish Brisa says that the beard of a woman is a beard. But Tanya, below, a woman's not chayiv for cutting a beard. But Tanya is a kanisha vasorish shehelu seya. That's the Brisa. That a woman's beard or a sterile man who happens to have some hair on his face, that's also considered a beard. It is considered a beard. So that's it. No, it says first that a woman's beard is considered a beard, so it means she shouldn't be allowed to cut it. Is this Bryce not talking about the issue of destroying a beard that a woman's not allowed to? You're telling me that the mission says that she's mutter. This Bryce says she's not. No, can't be. So he's not gonna. He's gonna. The Gemara this without telling us falls off of the 2 drushes. We just said 2 svaras, two reasons, either svara or pasuk. How come a woman is allowed to cut her beard? Either because it's not called a beard, or because it is pasuk of sekancha. But now Rashi explains, or somebody explains that therefore one falls off it. Because you see that a woman's beard is considered a beard sometimes. It's kanisha. It's considered a beard. So you can't just say it's nothing. It's just here. Because you say here that is considered a beard. So the Gemara falls off of both of these drushes for some reason. And now it brings a new drusha to say it can't be that a woman's chayiv for cutting a beard. And it's going to say a new drush we didn't have yet. And the Gemara is going to come back. But this Bryce says that it's considered a beard. We have to explain what it's talking about. But he's going to say first, let's clear the road. For sure, a woman is not chayiv for cutting a beard. You can't say that a woman's chayiv for cutting a beard. The Yala pas but is Xer Shova to learn out from Xer Shova that says here the word pas. I'm going to find out a place where it says pas. And we're going to learn out that it can't be. Now, B'nai Aaron says the interesting thing that besides this is that it says that any Jew is not allowed to cut the beard. It also says dafka. It says by a Kohen. It says by a Kohen. Rashi brings the pasuk over here. Maybe the side also brings the pasuk. Here it is. The regular pasuk is by Yisraelim. Lo sakiku bas v'ashtem. Lo sashker says bas kanecha. That's the pasuk that says by all Yisraelim don't circle the corners of your head, means don't cut the payas, and don't destroy the edge of your beard. This is by Kohanim. It says a special thing by Kohanim. It's interesting. It talks about things that we say applies to Israelim also, but it says by Kohanim. It says they shouldn't make a bald spot in their head. They shouldn't. Here's pasukam. This is what we want. Pasukanam lo yigalechu, that they shouldn't shave their beards. By Kohanim. By Kohanim.
These are specific laws to the Quran.
Yes, even
Those
though.
are in the Quran. Have to
But
be.
But the Gemara is going to apply it also to Israelim, applies to Israelim also. Here it says, no such case pasuk. It says by Israelim also. And the Gemara is going to say that Gzer Shav is going to tell you that women are not included. Amar Abaye. You can't, don't think that the Chayiv of the cut their beard. The Yal pass, but they are not allowed Nashim P'turas, Safkan Nashim P'turas. By Kohanim, for sure, women are not included. So far by Israelim also, it can't be Israelim Asr and Bas Kohen's mutter, can't be. Now, how do you know that? Why is it so simple that women are not included over there by the Bas Kohen? So Rashi says, because the pasuk starts off on Mol B'nei Aaron, like it says, Mol Kohanim B'nei Aaron. We said at the beginning of the parsha that it says B'nei Aaron V'lo B'nos Aaron. So the whole parsha is talking about only the B'nei Aaron. So when it says that they shouldn't cut their beard, it's only talking about the men, not the women. So a Bas Kohen is not included in the Isser that it says over there not to cut their beard. And now you have Gzer Shava Pas that also by Israelim also there's not going to be it's not going to be usher for the woman to cut the beard. Why is it not coming on? Here it is. That this one that's talking about the Kohanim, it says in the beginning of the parsha B'nei Aaron, so not women. So the B'nei Aaron is not included. So here when it says Pa'as Zikanecha, also Gzer Shava Pa'as that the women are not included in here either. So that's for sure not. What's the answer to the Brisa? We don't have yet. That the Brisa says that a woman's beard is considered a beard. But the Brisa says, just to clear the road, it can't be that the Chayiv for cutting their beard because he's by B'nos Aaron, they're not, and here's a Gzer Shava to Israelim also. The Gemara jumps up, like you have to have a Gzer Shava. The East Virulon, the Kik Sibnei Aaron, Akule in Yamaksiv, you're being so fancy that how do you know that women are not included? Because over there it says by B'nei Aaron, V'lo B'nos Aaron. So when the women Kohanim are not included in this of cutting a beard. Now you're saying there's a Gzer Shava. You need a Gzer Shava. The Kal V'chomer would have been enough. Kal V'chomer, if B'nos Aaron, if the Kohanim are surely more chashiv than the Israelim. If B'nos Aaron, the Kohanos are not included in the Israel, so surely not the Israelim. You don't have to have a Gzer Shava. But no mena, ma Kohanim sheribu ben akasav mitzvahs yiseres b'nei Aaron v'lo B'nos Aaron Yisrael kolshke. You don't have to have a Gzer Shava for that. Kal V'chomer would have done fine. That if the Kohanim are not included in the Israel, the B'nos Kohanim are not included in the Israel of cutting a beard, so surely not B'nei Israel. You don't have to have a Gzer Shava for that. Kal V'chomer would have been good. It must be that it's not so simple that by B'nei Aaron, V'lo B'nos Aaron is going on that also. The beginning of the parsha says, "Amar LaKohanim B'nei Aaron, lo yitama ba'amav," all kinds of halachas about Kohanim. Then it says also the issue of cutting a beard. Is it so simple that it's not that it's only talking to B'nei Aaron, not B'nos Aaron? If it is, then it's possible that the Israel have no issue either. You don't have to have a Gzer Shava. Kal V'chomer would have been enough. The Gemara says you don't have Gzer Shava. Amen. Hipsakenyan. If I wouldn't have a Gzer Shava, I would have thought that maybe the B'nei Aaron is talking about Tumah. But once it gets to the issue of cutting a beard, maybe women are included. Maybe B'nos Aaron are included. But if that's true, then the Gzer Shava doesn't help you. Maybe also this is coming to tell you that B'nei Aaron is, maybe B'nos Aaron are still included in the Isser, and even though there's a Gzer Shava, there's a reason for that. Now that's the point now what it's going to say over here. Just back to that pasuk again, it helps us see the psukim. Both psukim are this of cutting a beard. One it says by Israel, one it says by Kohanim, but there's no difference. The Ma'aseh there's no difference, and here it says lo sashchis. Here it doesn't say lo sashchis, but it says lo yigalecha. Lo sashchis, pasuk. Here it says pasuk lo yigalecha. And the Gemara is going to say that there's not a difference between Kohanim and Israelim. Both of them have two conditions. It has to be ashchasa and giluach. Ashchasa means that it has to be destructive, that it gets destroyed. Shaving without being destroying is not like if you use a shaver or a kosher shaver or scissors. It's not mashchis, so that's mutter because it's only asher if it's mashchis. And the other way, even if you are mashchis, right, but you didn't do it in a way of shaving, you did it in a way of uprooting or something like that. That the more is going to say that even though you're mashchis, but it's also not asher, you have to have two conditions in order to be asher. That's learned out from the Gzer Shava between these two.
Has to be mashchis in both cases.
Mashchis and giluach. Derech giluach. It's only
that's not mentioned by Yisrael.
There's no difference, right? There's no difference. There's a Gzer Shava to say that it's on the same wavelength. Both of them are the same, and two conditions in order to be a chayiv. It has to be giluach and also derech hashchasa. Imishum Gzer Shava, the Gemara says the Gzer Shava alone doesn't tell us that it must be coming to tell that no Saron are included. You might think that scissors also is usher. They're not allowed to shave the beard with a scissor. By the regular Israel, it says Tashchasa. So it's Giluch ben Misparayim doesn't destroy. Malaka, they say some kind of a tweezer maybe, and Hitni would be a plane, some kind of also not a plane, same way that you use in order to shave the wood.
Like those Gillette shavers, they act like a plane. They have an angle.
I'm not sure because the Gemara says it is talking about something, whatever is there. You have to have both. Okay, it's like you look sheish b'ashchasa. Avrohom is that a razor is what's also because that has both conditions. It's giluach, it's the derech giluach, and it's also the hashchasa. But anyway, there is a gezer shava that's necessary. So just because it says pas doesn't teach us that it must be that the pasuk is coming to tell you that the women are not included and to learn how to gezer shava from Yisraelim to Kohanim, and Kohanim must be that it's not included because the word b'nei Aaron in the beginning of the parsha is not going on the b'nos Aaron. Or else the pasuk wouldn't be telling you anything. The Gemara is asking, the pasuk is coming to tell you something. The pasuk is telling you this famous halacha that you have to have two conditions. You need gzer shava pas in order to tell you that there's only Yosef is giluch sheish b'ashchasa. So who tells you that the pasuk gzer shava between the two words pas?
Oh,
That's
that
makes it that's the gzer shava. So the gzer shava we have use for the gzer shava. So you don't know that's coming to tell you that women are pater. Maybe women are really chayiv. In Cain, nichtov kra es shebis kancha my pas gancha shmami notarti. The fact that it doesn't, the Gemara still says there's two gzer shavas going on. The fact that it says pas, this gzer shava tells you kiluch sheish b'ashchasa. But they could have said, without saying the word pas again, it could have made zakancha zakanam. It could have made a different gzer shava. The fact that it says the word pas and not esher b'ashkancha, that tells you that there are two gzer shavas going on. So it's coming to tell you also that women are not included in this of Kohanim, and you're supposed to learn that out to the case of Israel also. Women are not included. So all this was to tell us that Abai said, this is the drasha. How do you know that women are not chayiv by cutting their beard? Because it's a gzer shava, an extra gzer shava that's not just used for kiluch sheish b'ashchasa, extra gzer shava to tell you they learn out Israelim from b'nos Aaron, and over there Emor Kon b'nei Aaron is talking about the whole parsha only for the men, not for the women. Even halacha about shaving, so women are not included in the issue of shaving a beard by Kohanim and also by Israelim. So that's the answer to the kasha. How do we know that women are not included because in the issue of cutting a beard, shaving a beard, because it is drasha pas from Bnei Aaron. But now this Bryce is still waiting for us to get to be answered. It says in the Bryce, Kanisha is considered a zakhan l'chol devrim, that a woman's beard is considered a beard. What is that talking about? What does the Bryce mean that it's considered a beard? As far as the issue of destroying the beard, it's not considered a beard. So what is it talking about? It's come to tell you as far as a nega that the pasuk talks about a nesek, if there's such a tumah on the beard, nega on the place of the beard, it applies to a woman also. The Gemara says tumas negam hediksiva. It's special pasuk. You don't even know there's Russia to tell you that. You don't need a Bryce to tell you that. The Bryce, that's a fresh pasuk. It would be pashut. It says in the pasuk, "Isha kiyeh bo nega b'rosh zakon." It says a man or woman have a nega in the head or on the beard. So still about a woman, and it says a beard. So we know that. You don't need a Bryce to tell you. Not for the tumah, for the Torah, that it's possible for her to become Torah in the Torah process, that she could become Torah also. But the Gemara says that's also pashut. Torah's nigam nami pshita. Even the bas tumah, bas Torah, for sure it's in the same parsha. But the Torah's not going to be something tumah that they can't get out of. So if the pasuk says they're included in the parsha of tumah, they should be included in the parsha of getting out of it also. It's the Gemara says the Samar goes back and says tumah's nigam. Not you're right, not for Torah's nigam. But you still, it wouldn't be so simple. In the pasuk, you wouldn't take it for granted that a woman's beard is considered a beard. Let's put a comma over here. Even though it says B'rosh Zakon, you might have made a comma. You might have said B'rosh, that a man or woman have a neg in the head. But when it says a beard, everyone knows a beard is only for a man. You wouldn't have taken it for granted that a woman's beard is considered a beard. Kamash Malan, the Bryce had to tell you that a woman's beard is considered a beard of the Gabi Nigon. What?
How do you translate this? Don't it?
To put it to the sides, but you don't read it straight. When it talks about a man or woman, it's only talking about one case, one of the two cases. Does Rashi say that? No, Rashi. There's Rashi. The Isha, because of Bikra, low koi ella and this kay harosh. When it's that's a Isha, but that's only talking about the head. When it talks about the man, it's talking about the beard. It's talking about the man only. That it doesn't say it's not going on everything. It's only going on part. It's only part. So that's the end of the day today. That's the end.
Okay.
What did we learn? So we learned all the givens, but that's not the drushes. Mitzvah says my grandma, women are potter. 3 exceptions: simcha, matzah, and hakel. How do you know it? You know it from tefillin, because tefillin is mitzvah says my grandma,
And the woman.
and they're potter because you're not from Talmud Torah, and therefore they potter for all the mitzvahs. If need be, if you need it, to have in the back pocket, you have another that's stronger to make it stronger, not just because it's a mitzvah and you learn to other mitzvahs, but because the pasuk says learn out from tefillin to all other mitzvahs that are similar, and from there you know that mitzvah says my grandma, woman are potter, and mitzvah says shlo is my grandma, menashe machayim. There's also another drasha that if it's enough, you can learn from a drasha that mora over aim ishim bavuti road that a woman's also chayiv in that mitzvah. Those my grandma, and you learn out all other mitzvahs also. There are 3 exceptions over there also. Talmud Torah, Peruvu, Pidin Ben, that women are potter, even though it's mitzvah say shlo is my grandma, and Yol Shnei Ksuvim Bam Kechad is enough. It's good. If you have 3 ksuvim, you have 3 ksuvim also. If you have Avrohom and Broka, then you get the problem that it's only Shnei Ksuvim, and then you have to have this fancy drasha before of a bracha b'Yaakov from Papunya that the pasuk says "Perish learn out from tefillin." There was a problem if you hold tefillin as mitzvah says "Shaloz man grandma," so then you're going to go backwards and learn out the mitzvah says "Shaloz man grandma," women are potter. And I think Gemara says that each mandama is good, and Abuda is going to hold that it's Shlosha Ksuvim Abam Kechad is not going to hold like a bayah that says that simcha is a husband's chiyuv, it's going to hold that it's a woman's chiyuv, and the Shlosha Ksuvim Abam Kechad. After that, we had the 3 drushes to tell you that lo saaseh the chayv and everything. That what about onshim and dinim and kofer and srichi and clear about themselves. The Gemara says there are 3 exceptions of a lo saaseh, the woman a potter, lo sakifu, lo sashkes, and tumah. Tumah's for Kohen, so it says perish b'nei Aaron, that's pashat, that not the no Aaron, and peos is ushkas to the beard. And how do you know the beard? Because pas from the no Aaron over there, and that they're potter from they're allowed to cut their beard. And don't make a mistake. I think it's only telling you a Gzer Shava about Kiluch Sheir Shchasa. There are 2 Gzer Shavas over there. So surely coming to tell you this other halacha that women are potter by Kohanim, and they're also by Israelim also. So that's the halacha that goes a lot of cut a face, cut a beard, and come tamil mason.
Yeah.
That should go. Thank you.
So tomorrow same time, 10 o'clock?
That's good. That's good, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, go everybody. Good morning, Reb Ruben.